So you have a bad tenant. Do not panic. Today, we're gonna show you guys a real life situation on how we successfully handled our bad tenants and turned it into a positive situation. Now, we're gonna head over to a property that we purchased about 6 months ago, and it's very unfortunate, but when we moved in, the tenants all decided to stop paying rent. Now there's 3 units in this property, it's a multiplex. The tenants all decided to stop paying rent, so what we did first was we served them an N4, which is a notice of eviction for not paying rent. Now, you do not want to delay this process. You want to serve that the moment they stop, the day after they stop paying rent. You might not pursue it because they could start paying again, but it's important to never delay your paperwork because with the landlord and tenant board, there is a process, so you don't want to delay it any more than it already is. It also shows the tenants when you serve that notice that you are serious, you're a professional landlord, and you know what you're doing. So then after you're done serving that notice, you can approach them, give it to them, and have the conversation about why you did it. They might apologize, they might end up paying you rent again. These things do happen. Sometimes people will try to get away with not paying rent for a week. They might be late, and you know, these things happen, but a conversation is always important. We just recommend that you serve the notice before you have the conversation because you don't want them to convince you of, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna pay it this Friday or I'm gonna pay it in a couple of weeks, and then they don't, and they just keep kicking the ball down the street and time just keeps getting passed on and you lose more and more time. So serve them that N4. Let's go check out the property because we did just get them out, and the guys, Andrew and Ping, are going to explain to you the whole process and show you the rental property. So let's go take a look.
All right, so as you can see, this is far from an ideal situation. As soon as we took over this property, there were tenants already here, and from day one, they decided not to pay rent, all of them collectively. Now this adds a lot of pressure onto us or you as a landlord if you find yourself in this type of situation. You can either try to work something out with them, which in our experience, when somebody does something like this, especially a group of people as a collective, they're not really looking to cooperate, they're probably looking to get a free ride more than anything else. Or you can serve them with your paperwork, which is what we always recommend because at least your outcome is guaranteed and you can budget for it. Now let's talk about what happened. We served them an N4, they weren't too happy about it, and they said they're gonna fight this matter at the tribunal. Several weeks went by before we even got a hearing date. And then when that did happen, it was several weeks after that before we got an eviction date. This didn't work out too well. Long story short, it took us between 6 to 8 months to roll our evictions through. In that time frame, the tenants weren't paying rent, they were causing damage to the property, and as you can see, they didn't leave on a positive note. Now, any landlord in their right mind will feel stressed about this situation. This is wrong. We offered a lot of ways to exit this situation to the tenants. We offered them cash for keys, very favorable numbers, and they still didn't want to take it. A lot of the times, people are also finding themselves between a rock and a hard place, and they can't even find another place, doesn't matter how much money we give them. So we have to go through the legal process anyway. But what is a bad situation here can actually be turned into something positive, and I know it's hard to see that by looking at the place, but let me tell you why. As you can see from this unit, it generally looks like it needs to be repaired anyway, and when you have a property like this and the rents are generally low, improvements will actually put you as a landlord or a real estate investor on top. It might not feel that way if you're finding yourself a little financially stressed and you don't have the budget to do extensive renovations, but even if you take out a loan or do something like that, you'll be able to fix the place up, rent it out to tenants at a higher price because you're now renting out a premium unit, and it's gonna add tremendous value to your property. And I know we're all wondering what these numbers can look like, so let's have Ping break it down and show you how it works.
Okay guys, I know it's frustrating to have to actually go through the eviction process. However, let's look at the positive side just for a second. Okay, this is a great opportunity for us to actually improve the rent to the market rent. The tenants used to be paying $800 per unit. If they were to stay, right, $800, that's not going to change any of our property evaluation. So what we're actually going to do is that we're going to put about like 10 to 15K, just change the flooring, the painting, the lighting a little bit, maybe kitchen, bathroom, depending on the situation. However, in this case, we probably won't actually do too much right now, just to freshen up a little bit. Okay, that's going to actually get us $1,200 on average per apartment. So that's additional $400 per month per apartment, times that by 3, that's $1,200, which gives us additional $14,400 in rent. What does that translate to? It's actually $320,000 more in the property value at 4.5% cap rate in the current market. When given a situation like this, that's what you need to be thinking as a real estate investor. Huge opportunity, and that's where we make money.
So that right there is a real life situation on how you can turn a bad situation into a good one. We used the N4 notice of eviction because the tenants weren't paying rent, and this was on one of our properties. This right here, guys, is something that we definitely didn't expect, but as real estate investors, we're always prepared for these situations just in case they happen. If you need any help dealing with any tenant situations, you can comment down below, or you can give us a shout on Instagram. We'll put our links in the description. We'd be happy to help you guys. Don't forget, like this video if it helped, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.